Here's all the cards. 6-deck blackjack. Dealer stands on all 17s. Blackjack pays 3-2, no surrender. This is shoe number 4 of Fibonacci versus flat betting. I'm going to keep testing these out till we get up to 7, then we'll do a summary. I will show you all the cards, which I just did. I will show you the complete shuffle. I will try to be quick, but we need to make sure we do it right. While I'm doing that, I'll explain how things go. We don't do things in terms of dollars, we do things in terms of units. So that way you can scale this to whatever table limits you play at. I'm trying to mix these up. I don't have a lot of room here. It's a lot of cards. Okay, so table minimum is 1 unit. Table max is 100 units. If that's a $5 table, that's like playing a $5 table with a $500 max. Okay, that's a very common thing. Maybe sometimes you might find them going to 1,000. It matters that there is a table limit this time because of the way the Fibonacci sequence works. It's a negative progressive betting system, meaning on losses you change your bet, you increase your bet. It's a little bit more complicated than something as straightforward as, say, martingale or Paroli. It's just not a direct increase, or it's simply doubling. I'll show you the sequence. You can also, pretty easy to find. You can look that up. It's also sometimes known as the natural sequence, because if you were to graph it out, it can look something like a spiral. Fibonacci let's see, where's he from? Yeah, Pisano, from Pisa, is the Italian mathematician that this is named for. At least that's where they get Fibonacci. So on there'll be 2 betting systems, flat betting and Fibonacci, betting on the same hand. So they don't get separate cards. If you have separate hands, if you play separate hands, you don't get the direct comparison, because one side can be getting good cards while the other side is getting bad cards. I'm going to continue to use my automatic shuffler. It speeds things up a little bit. It keeps me from bending my cards. Seems to do a pretty good job, as long as you do what I'm doing here as part of your sequence, which is stripping the deck, where you take some from the top, put them down, then the next on top of that. We play by perfect basic strategy, also known as the book or the card. It's how you should pretty much always play. I've been learning a lot about how the Fibonacci sequence works when applied to blackjack, particularly when it comes to multiple wins and or losses on double downs and splits. It's interesting. I think that I'm satisfied with the way that we worked it out. Most likely we will have an opportunity to see that and to explain it. It has happened in days past, so I take the time to explain it there as well. It does make these videos a couple minutes longer, but I think it's important that we do it right and that I explain what I'm doing as I go. Okay, so in short, Fibonacci, when you lose a hand, you move to the next position in the progression. So like I said, I will show that progression to you as it comes up. So you move down in the progression. When you win a hand, you will move back to towards the beginning. towards the beginning of the progression by 2 units, or by two spaces. Don't want to confuse the positions in the progression with the betting units. So that can get a little bit complicated. It gets extra complicated when you have multiple wins or losses. But like I said, I think I figured it out. The goal of the Fibonacci system is to close out your losing streaks at break even for that particular cycle, not for the whole game, not for your whole trip to the casino. Just from when you started the cycle and started losing, you want to close out at break even. So it's sort of similar to martingale in that way, except martingale is seeking to put you up 1 unit at the close of the cycle. This seeks to just get you back to even. All right, getting there. So it's an interesting system. I've never tried it before. It seems like it's kind of fun. It's confusing. If I didn't have it written down with me, I'm not sure how I would do things. Oops. Let me just note that I'm not endorsing the Fibonacci system or flat betting, or recommending that you go to a casino at all. But if you are going to go, let's see if we can't help you out, having the best odds to leave a winner. And so that's what these tests are all about. Everybody will say, you'll read it everywhere, that betting systems, or even more specifically progressive betting systems, do not work. You cannot beat the house edge, the built-in house edge, over the long run. Okay, shuffle procedure is complete. These are our cut cards. I'm going to stick that one there on the back. We will simulate a player cutting the deck. Bring this around, or the shoe I should say. This now becomes our cut card. We go for about 75% penetration, somewhere in there. So far we've gotten at least 45 hands out of every shoe. At least. Okay, so here's the chips for each side. 10, 5 5s, and these are single units. Okay, so 10, 25, 35, 40, 45, 50. Okay, I'm trying to go fast. Each side. Okay, you start with 50 units. So if that's a $5 table, it's like you're buying in for $5. I'm sorry, $250 on a $500 table. That's a pretty good buy-in. That's a burn card. Thank you for, I forget the guy's name who called it out that I didn't burn a card on one of these tests, but I try to remember. Okay, so, oops. The cards are going to go here. The bets are going to go here. That's not how you typically do it. Again, because both sides play the same hand. If I didn't say flat betting's on this side, Fibonacci's there. Let's go. Trying to speed up. Okay. Soft 16 to a 9 takes a card. 16 hits again. 26 lose. Okay. So you opened up with a base bet, your base bet of a single unit. Let me just bring this out really quick. Here is the sequence. That's where you were. You lost. You moved to the next position, which will be a repeat bet of 1. Okay? If you win, you get back the one you just lost, which I do keep over here. I have a running loss column for the Fibonacci. It helps me. Of course, you cannot do that in the casino. They just put your chips into the rack. So if you're going to use this in the casino, I would suggest having, a smaller version of this that you keep there, and you somehow keep track of what's going on. 17 stands, 12, 22. So there you go. You get it back. and the flat payer also gets paid. So far, we haven't really seen Fibonacci in action. You've done the exact same action as the flat betting, so it starts to take effect once you get into a losing streak, which you're pretty much guaranteed to get somewhere during this shoe. 14, and I don't mean to jinx it. 14 to a 10 takes a card. 16 hits again. 18, 16, 22. Pay up and move on. By the way, I keep track of how many hands we do. And then I'll use that at the end when I do the summary, so we'll know how many hands that this applied to, whether, there's a big difference between running 10 hands or running 300 hands. 17 stands, 6, 12, 20. When they say that these betting systems don't work, they're usually doing computer simulations running millions of hands. My issue with that is you don't have time to play millions of hands. 15 to a 2 stands, 4, 10, 21. Plus, computer simulations versus real cards, is it really the same? I don't know. Okay, let's just see. That was your second loss right there. Here they are. First loss, second loss, first loss, second loss. Moving to the third position in the sequence is a wager of 2, which would put you back at even should you win. Okay? Single bet for the flat better. Single unit bet for the flat better. 12 to a 2 takes a card according to strategy. That's 21, 12, 18. So let's like that. You get your 2 back. And it was short for Fibonacci, a short cycle, but you completed the cycle for Fibonacci. You take all these off. Back to a single unit wager. 10 to a 3, it's a double down. 1 card. 20, 10, 18. Now, if you were farther down in the sequence, we would have to stop and show you how that works. But since this was the first position of the Fibonacci sequence, it's pretty easy. You're still at the beginning of the cycle. Try to do that so I can keep track of things at a glance. So you're starting still at the very first position of the sequence, bet of 1 unit. Ace check there. No, 16 hits. 21, very nice. 14, 16, 18. Goes off. And again, you're still at the start of the cycle. The reason why that we have the flat better here, so we have a benchmark. 16 to a 3 stands. 13, too many. So, it'll be easy for us to tell, like, have you been getting good cards for the entire shoe? You'll know because the flat better will be up. If you're just doing Fibonacci, you don't really know, well, how were the cards flowing? You can also see, the flat better is perhaps way down, yet the Fibonacci is whatever it is, up, down, or even with it. You'll get a chance to do a comparison. 20 stands, 10, 14, 23. See, so right now, flat better, both sides are winning. Flat better is up, if you count this one, is up 5. The Fibonacci, if you count this one, is up 6. And that's after 10 hands, first 10. All right. Little markers down here that help me keep track of how many 10s we've gone through. Okay, so, oops. Doesn't matter if you saw it. We're going to play it out anyways. You don't really get to make decisions. 19. 19, push. Pushes, repeat the same bet. They don't change your position in the Fibonacci sequence. Okay, insurance closed. Basic strategy says do not take insurance. 18 stands. 4, 14, 6, 16, 12, right? 14, 24. And the good cards continue to come. So yeah, what we're seeking to find out here is not just do you get good cards or do you get bad cards. Does using a betting system beat the house edge, or does it give you a better chance? 12 to an 8 takes a card. 14 hits again. 18, push. Repeat the bet. Same position in the sequence. $11 to a 5 doubles down. One card. 14, 6, 16, 14, 23. So again, another double down from first position. We don't do anything special. Nothing to explain. I'm not going to try to explain it without a proper example, meaning like once we're into the sequence, because it takes too much time and it's not necessary until we see it happen. 17 to a 2 stands. 5, 13, 17, push. Yes, just making sure. Same bet, same position. Insurance closed. The soft 18 to an ace, let me just make sure, is a hit according to the card, is why I keep it around. Now that is a hard 14 to an ace, needs to hit again. That is 16, 20. Look at all those little cards. 17, dealer stands. Card counters might notice lots of little cards. All those aces aren't really little cards. But even if you're counting cards, you play exact perfect strategy and you stick to the system. 14 to a 5 stands. 15, 19. Okay, with that was first position loss for Fibonacci, moving to position 2, which is still a single unit wager. Trying to get back to even. You're down 1 for this cycle. Ace check here. 20 stands. 13, 18. There you go. You got it back. And you completed the cycle. Start over. So you're at first position, 1 unit. 13 stands to a 4. 14, 15, 18. First position loss, moves to second position in the Fibonacci sequence. Still a wager of 1 unit, trying to get back to even. Ace check, and there it is. Okay, so now this is the first, isn't it, for this shoe? First of all, that's the next 10. That's 20 hands down. You bring this up. You've lost 2. 1, 2. Your next wager is 2 units right there. Actually, no, we did get to this before. Still single unit here. But if you win, you'll get back to even. If you lose, you'll just keep moving down to the next spot. Okay. You know, I want you to do well, but I also I know that there's a bad run of cards coming eventually. Someday a real rain will come. 16 to a 10 takes a card. There you go. Bust. And I don't mean to jinx you, but if you find a casino where you win, where you do this well all the time, you should move in. Stay there. Sorry. Next wager, 1, 1, 2 is a wager of 3. Now that won't get you back to even. You have 1, 1, and 2, but then you'll only move back 2 positions to there when you win. Okay, so then you would win those 3 right there, and you have 1 more to go. And if you lose, you go back into the sequence. So anyways, I keep those over there to help me out, and so I can illustrate what's happening. 19 stands, 11, 21. Well, I shouldn't have said something. However, like I said, if we don't, stress test these systems, we won't find out. It won't be realistic, and we won't learn anything. 1, 1, 2. You just lost the 3. Now you're at 5 right there. Pair of 5s takes a card. 18 stands there. 20. I'll bring the sheet up. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5. Now we are at 8. Still, of course, single unit there. There's 5 and 3. Offset that so I can see it. I think this is we've gotten to 8 before, but this is the farthest we've gone. Let's check. 13 to a 10 needs a card. That is 16 needs to still hit. 22. 15. Okay, this is definitely the farthest we've gotten in. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, just lost 8. Next wager is 13. I'm going to use the reds. 13. Okay. Still single unit here. Now this is starting to put you down. On Fibonacci, and this is one of the problems, is that I anticipate you would be, well, if you lose this, you still have 27 units. You could cover this next wager. You won't be able to cover the 34. I'm not sure what to do when that happens. Obviously, the next number in the sequence is 144, but this is a 100 unit limit table, so again, you would max out here. And I knew that this, I talked about this in the other videos, that this wager of 34 is not just 34. It's compounded. It's 34 plus all of these losses that you've accumulated here. So whatever that comes out to, I'm not going to do the math right now, but you can. Okay. So anyways, you are at this position 13. That's position 7. So you've had 6 losses in a row. Very common. 6 losses in a row. 7 losses in a row is very common too. Let's see if you can get out of this. And then we'll show you how to work back into the sequence, which would actually be more educational than busting out. 18 stands, 5, 11, 15. Too many. There you go. Okay, so now there was 8 from that one you lost before, plus 5, okay, from the one prior to that. So you were here. I just gave you back the 8 and the 5. And remember, what happens now? You move back 2 positions. You skip 2 positions, or so you move back 2 positions. So 8 goes, so 13. You go 8. Your next wager is going to be 5. If you win that, your next wager is 2, and if you win that, you will have canceled out your losses and going back to the start. I'll keep showing that. I'm trying to be quick. Okay, so these are your winnings. Okay. Oops. Just pay the flat better too. He earned it. Try not to screw up my sequence too much here as far as doing things in the right order. Okay. Sorry, that was 13. Move back 2. Your next wager is 5. Right there. See, it's 5. Okay. Put that guy's money away. You still have your loss column over here. Let's go. Trying to be quick, but I want to explain it, and I hope you appreciate it. Insurance closed. 13 to an ace needs a card. 20. 2 or 12. 5 or 15. That's 15. Did you see that? There's a mistake. Doesn't matter. 23. So let's look at your loss column here. 1, 1, and I'm not sure if you can see it. 1, 1, 2, and 3. you get back the 2 and the 3. So you still have 2 over there in the lost column. Let's pay him. Stack those up. Nice, okay. You start taking them off. You're at 5, you move back 2 positions, so you're going to leave 2 out there. And if you win that, there's your 2 in your lost column, you will have completed the cycle. Otherwise, you're going to go back to the next, if you lose, you go back to the next position to that 3. And you just keep working the cycle there. 20 stands, 13, 23. Well, there you go. There they are. Congratulations. You completed the cycle. You went pretty deep, but it worked out. You're starting over. Single unit. And let's go. A pair of aces. Let's just make sure we don't have it here. Split aces. 2 of 10. Yep, sorry. I was just confused for a minute. Okay, single card on each. 1 and 2. Okay, this is not a blackjack. Blackjack's only in the first 2 cards. 18. So you lose this hand, and you win. You win this hand. So this one went into your lost column, but it comes right back to you there. I should actually separate them more. And then that's the flat better side. So what is that? 1 loss, 1 win is a push. Okay? Push. So if this was farther down in the sequence, you would just remain in whatever position you were and repeat the same bet from the same position. But you were at the beginning of the cycle, so it's even easier. Oh. Now you are not at the beginning with that loss of 1. You move, let me clear this out first. You move to the next position in the sequence. So that's the second one. This will be hand 30, by the way. Picture. Oh, pair of aces again, huh? Let's see what we got there. And so we split again. See if you can do better this time. Single cards. Pair of 19s. Oh, double loss. Okay, so let's take the flat bettors chips out of there first. Those that are still up there are from Fibonacci. Oh, excuse me. Allergies are bad this year. Okay, so that time you lose 2. The way this works is it's as if you lost 2 bets in the sequence. So you lost. This was your initial bet, and this was your split bet. So you just lost 2. So your next wager is 2, and that would make sense because if you were to win this, you would just get those right back, and you would complete the cycle at break even. All right, that was 30 hands. Set those aside, and go again. A pair of 7s to a 9 is just a hit. Too many, 24. 19. So 1, 1, 2, you remember? 1, 1, 2, 3. What you're doing is you're adding, to determine what the next wager is, you're adding up the prior 2. The prior 2 positions. So 1 and 1 is 2, 1 and 2 is 3, 2 and 3 is 5, 3 and 5 is 8, 5, 8, 13, etc. Okay? That's the Fibonacci sequence. 13 through 2 or 3 stands, 7, 11, 21. So 1, 1, 2, 3, using that information I just gave you, the next wager is the sum of the last 2. So 1, 1, 2, 3, 2 and 3 is 5. There we go. $13 to a 10 needs a card. That's 1 too many. Should have had the 8, most important card in the game. 15. My opinion, of course, that is about the 8. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5. Next is 8. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. Don't believe me? 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. Add the last 2. We offset those 3. And good luck. Let's have a look. Okay, 20 stands. 19. So you get the 5 back and the 3 back. Okay, which was your last 2. Let's pay this guy. And we move back 2 positions. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. You just won, so you go back 1, 2, and you're still in the sequence. You're not out yet. Next wager is going to be 3. Right there. Okay. And of course, flat better, single unit. $15 takes a card. 25 too many. Now where do you go? 12. Well, you just continue back, running this way for you, I guess, down the sequence. So that was a loss of 3. If you don't recall, you had 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. You won that. You moved back 2 to 3. Then you just lost this. So you have to go back to 5. You're still in the sequence. You're still going to be in it for a bit. This is actually, I think, one of the first times that we've had this kind of fixing your stack, choppy action. 20 stands. 16, 26. So you get back the 3 and the 2 from the sequence. Pay him. And so that was the 5. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5. Moving back 2 positions is a bet of 2. Just to verify. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5. Win. Move back 2. You're still in it. And as you can see, there's your loss column, 2. Of course, the casino will not do that for you when you're playing on your own. You will be expected to remember these things on your own. An 11 is a double down. Single card. 11 turns to 15. Dealer splits. Just kidding. 21. Oh, okay, now we get to see how this goes. Let me clear the cards. I figured this out yesterday. 1, 1, or the day before, whichever it was. 1, 1, 2, yet that's where you were. You had a bet of 2 and you doubled it down, okay? I think this is going to work. So let's look at your loss column. You're here, 1, 1, 2, and here, okay? Your next, having lost that, your next wager would be 3. If you lost that, if you win that, you'll, if you can see, hope you can see, you'll get back 3, you'll move back 2 positions, but you'll still, and if you win that 1, it doesn't work. You're still off by 1, okay? So what you need to do is go 2 positions. Now it's not working out either. It worked the other day. 1, 1, 2, this one. I'm gonna. Well, what we did before was we moved when we had a double loss. We moved 2 positions down, and once we're down in here, when we win this one, we move back 2. No, see, it's just not working. That's what we did before. Is that if you then when you win, you would move back 2, or if you won on a double. Boy, I don't remember now. But let's see. What's the intention? The intention is to get back to a break even for this current cycle. Okay, so 1, 1, 2, 3. Your next one, 1, 1, 2. Your next one would be 3. If you won that 3, I guess you would either then move down to 2 and go 1 space, because then you would win 2. And then if you, no, you're still off. Well, okay, I'm going to do what we've been doing. And we're going to go to 2 positions down. So our next wager is 5. Okay? If you win that, instead of moving back 2, we'll move back 3, I guess. Anybody has any thoughts on that? Please share with us. I thought I had it worked out. Obviously, I don't. This makes sense to me. I think what we're doing, that we went an extra space down because we had a double loss, and so when we win this, we'll go back 2. And then I'm not sure if we keep losing. We'll figure it out. See, it's not a perfect system, is it? Anyways, that's 5. That's 1. Sorry for the delay. Oh, great. Double down. Now we can really confuse things. You got to figure this out at the casino too, and you got to be able to have an answer quickly. Single card. 21. You have a very good chance of winning. It's going to kind of cheat the system because you can close the cycle out, and maybe that's what we should do. Well, first you have to win. 4, 14, 14, 24. Okay, so you did win. So I'll pay you out. Pay you out there. And I mean, if I strictly pull from your loss column here, that's 2, 4, 5, 6. I need to give you another 4 for your 10. What do you say? We just we call you out of the cycle? That does solve our problem. Otherwise, we would be going back to this position of 1. Should we do that? Call that? Yeah, I think so. These double down payments, like Blackjack, should be only considered a bonus pay. So what I'm going to do, this is your loss column. I'm going to keep this 1 over here. I'm going to give you these 5 plus these 5 out of my rack. Okay? There. So we moved down an extra position when you lost whatever that was, the double down or the split. You're going to go back an extra position to 1. There. That's the best I can think of. You might want to start the cycle, have a desire to start the cycle over, but you're not. You're going to be at this position 2, because technically you should still have 1 left out there. Tell me what you think. Please, please, please pay attention. Tell me what you think of that in the comments. A lot of thinking. Sorry if this is slowing us down. I'm sure you understand why I'm doing it like this, or why I'm taking the time to explain it. So that's time and a half. Oh, I should have given it to you out of your loss column. I'll just trade. Now you are legitimately out of the cycle, plus your bonus, which you wouldn't count towards the sequence anyways, which is why I kept it out. And I don't know, maybe we should have just not skipped a position. That's why I'd like to hear from you. It worked yesterday. We were further down in the sequence. Maybe that had something to do with it. Anyways, let's try to speed up. 8 is 13 to a 5. You are done. 7, 10, 20. Take that off. That was your first position in the sequence. And you are now in second position. Continues to be a single unit wager. Um, 16 takes a card. Too many. 25. 18. That is the next 10 hands. That puts us at 40. We generally get at least another 5 hands. So you're down to position 3. So that's a wager of 2. 1, 1, 2, 3. You can see that in the loss column. It's possible that you will run out of cards in the shoe mid-cycle. 14 stands. 11, 21. It's up to you to decide if you're really playing what to do on the next shoe. Do you open up the shoe with the same in the same position that you were in the cycle, or do you start the cycle all over again? 1-1-2 losses, you're in position 4. That's a wager of 3. So what do? I like to start all over on the new shoe, but there could be arguments for picking up where you left off. If you have an opinion on that, let us know in the comments. That 8 to a 10, now 20, 13, 23. So you get back from your lost column 3. You are still down by 1 for this cycle. So you are, even though the wager is 1, you are at position 2, seeking to get back to break even. 16 to a 4 stands. 12, 20. That puts you to position 3 in Fibonacci and a wager of 2. Insurance closed. 12 to an ace hits. 22. 5-15. 1-1-2, that was your last wager, was 2. You're moving up to 3. 1-1-2, 3, 5, 8, 13. Whatever it is comes next. I have to look. 15 to an 8 needs a card. 17 stands. 16. 26. So from your lost column, there is 3. You are still down for this cycle by a single unit. And moving back 1, 1, 2, 3, moving back 2 units puts you at second position, so it's still a bet of 1. The way we've been doing this, when the cut card comes out to open a hand, we still play the hand. Because we're not counting cards, it's not going to matter all that much. Ace check here, no. 10 and 20. 19. So look, you complete the cycle. Perfect. Don't have to really worry about what to do on the next shoe. That is 46 hands. Okay. All right. Boy, that got a little confusing. Where I thought I had things figured out, maybe I didn't, or still figuring it out. I'm pretty satisfied with the way that we did it, though. Again, please share. Okay, let's count them up. Flat better. That's 10. I think you can see 10 plus 5 5s, 25 makes 35. That's 5. So 35, 40, 45, 50. There's your buy-in for the flat better. Up a half of a unit. So if there's a $5 table, you're up $2.50. Okay, so this shoe had its good times and bad times. Pretty much right on even. This is probably one of the more, the other shoes we've done have been kind of strong. This one maybe is kind of, normal. If you're coming out this close to your original buy-in. Okay, for the Fibonacci side, that's 10. 5 5s, 25 makes 35. 40. 45. 50. Okay, so that's your original buy-in. Anything from here is gains, which you definitely have. Okay, so this is 5. That makes 55. Another 5, 60. 4 and a half. So a gain of, I think you can see that all, gain of 14 and a half for Fibonacci, which is over the half of a unit gain. $5 table, 14. That's 72.50 over here. Okay, that's a nice gain when you when you came in. Well, you came in with 250, but or whatever you came in with. This is the deepest we've gone into the stack. This is the farthest down we've gone in the sequence. We got to the 13. We did have the money to fund to 21. We would not have had the funds. We would have to do a 34, and then if we had whatever, I'm not sure what we would have done. I guess we would have just gone all in. We're not taking more money out of our pocket. We're just trying to see how this lasts. So we got to there. We survived. We came out ahead 14 and a half, which is a difference of 14 over the flat betting. So in 46 hands, gain of a half, gain of 14.5. Fibonacci wins for this shoe. Great. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Hope that